what would you say to someone, this is something I've been thinking about because I spend a lot of time in the woods, and I think there's something to be said if you're thinking about gardening to go spend time in the woods, because you can look at, like, there's I don't know if you have a video about this or not. I seem to feel like you do. In permaculture, they talk about like edges, right? Transitions, right? And if you're in a forest, you can see, like, if you've got, let's say, a tree line. So a tree line is where a part of the natural system is not trees and where it meets the trees. Sometimes there's natural fields or, where I live, it tends to be bushes. There's certain kinds of, I'm guessing it's soil. Certain kinds of soil just will not support trees. So it'll all be sort of like knee waist high bushes. And then you'll have trees. And you'll see where the bushes meet the trees, there's things growing right there that don't grow anywhere else. And if the bushes meet the trees and it's south facing, you'll tend to get your fruit there. If the bushes meet the trees and it's like north facing, you get different things growing there, right?
Right.
So just spending time in that natural system, you can get a lot. Let's say you're a person living in an apartment and you don't own a house, you're planning to and you want to. You can still garden in the sense that you can get your head wrapped around the idea of gardening by just going into these natural systems and look at how plants respond to those different conditions. And you can start getting an idea in your head of how to design your garden just by looking at how a garden that just sort of happened, because certain things are going to grow here, certain things, oh, there's a rock here. What's growing on the left side of the rock? What's growing on the rock? Why is that the case? And why is there things growing next to the rock that don't grow anywhere else? Oh, the rock holds heat, right? And the rock has a north side and a south side and east side and a west. You can, so read about permaculture, binge watch Stefan's videos, but go out and just look at places like, you can go to a garden, but if you want to learn about permaculture, go out in a natural system. Because it's, even if you're just going for a walk, look at the ditch on the side of the road. Notice at the bottom of the ditch where it's wet and up higher where it's drier. It's like a little mountain with a valley, and you can learn a lot just by looking at those little things, right? So to me, that's sort of like studying, right? It's studying. So even if, maybe you're, maybe you're living somewhere, if you're a student and you're just living in an apartment in a city somewhere, it's temporary, right? But you can think about it, right?
I used to say, I used to do a lot of consulting, and one of my favorite tricks was I would just look for plants that are analogs. For example, you go somewhere, you look at a property, and okay, it's a field, it's maybe hay or it's a tilled field. That's not the example. What I'm looking for is the edge. And if there isn't any edge, then I look for a ditch, because a ditch will already tell you a whole lot that you will learn. And so along these edges, I'm just looking for what plants are growing naturally.
Yes.
And then in your area, what would be naturally growing? You were saying blueberry. I guess you would have blueberries in some.
We have blackberry, blueberry, Queen Anne's lace, it's sort of, so Queen Anne's lace, I know parsnips grow really well where I am. And what do you know? There's Queen Anne's lace all over the damn place, right?
Yeah.
So we have wild strawberries everywhere. Strawberries grow really well, right? So, dandelions grow really well. So dandelion-like things grow really well, so.
That's it. Looking what exactly, and is there exactly that? What is a similar plant? If it's wild strawberry is a good one. So that's a quick way to observe and learn. But I just wanted to make a point while you're talking about finding a natural area, and we're talking about just start. Don't be discouraged by thinking, well, we don't really have a natural area. A lot of areas, especially in urban and suburban, are disturbed areas, but the lessons are there. As long as it's not a manicured area where, let's say mowing destroys the succession, for example, you can, nothing's naturally happening and not much. But if there's an edge of that, or if there's, some part of it that isn't mowed actively, then you've got that interaction and you got that change and you got the plants happening that are giving you lessons. Your rock example is perfect, just sitting down and looking, and what you said is, I think the most important for observation is asking why.